Oh, hello YouTube, I'm Dapie45 and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be hunting for ghosts because Jacob here said he saw a ghost.
I saw a ghost with my own two eyes. I did. Wait. Didn't we do this last year?
What are you talking about?
We definitely did this last year.
No, we didn't.
Hold on.
Oh yeah, we did do this. How come I don't remember it? That's it. I cover myself with this blanket, pretend I'm a ghost, gain a trust of Ditto, and then I can attack him.
Hey man, there's no ghost. I can't. A ghost! No reason.
Okay, so I guess we're done here then.
But, what about the ghost?
I'm sure he'll be bored and leave eventually. Let's just go.
You're right, you're right. Well, we have the rest of the day. What movie should we watch now?
Well, since we already watched Ghostbusters, why don't you watch Ghostbusters 2 then?
I think we did that last year.
Really? Well then what do we do now then?
Well, we could watch...
Ghostbusters from 2016? This should pass the time. Well, that was something.
Oof. Let's just get this over with before it gets too late.
Alright, so Ghostbusters 2016 follows these four women who hunt for ghosts, essentially. It's like the other Ghostbusters, but a new cast. It's like a reboot, sort of. So, would you like to start off with your opinions on this movie?
Yes. So, okay. Concept, I thought it was actually a cool concept. Kristen Wiig, I forgot her character's name, but she is like the scientist and she wants to like, you know, hunt for ghosts. And I like how she's kind of on this journey to, you know, really go after what she believes in. Execution, it was kind of, it felt forced. And I'm not saying this because there's a fantastic Ghostbusters, you know, first two movies that came out. I'm saying this because the fact that there are two Ghostbusters already made, it felt like the original Ghostbusters, what people loved about it was like the chemistry and through all those four actors and you know, just kind of everything about it, the cheesiness of like the 80s is what helped. But I think this movie was made at a wrong time because it was directed by Paul Feig, which he directed Bridesmaids, and I thought that was actually a pretty funny movie. It's just that Paul Feig's comedy didn't really fit the aura of Ghostbusters, if that makes sense. It felt a little awkward and like dry, and it might be due to like the nature of the context of, you know, fighting ghosts and whatnot, but yeah, it felt a little awkward and a little too forced. But what I did like about it was like the ghost. I actually like how they changed it to have this like neon look instead of I guess their original. Well, the original it's cool because like they had practical effects and whatnot, and then they used some practical effects for this new one. How the ghost, I think it was the one in the library, it was like an actual actor, and then they had, you know, that was cool. But a lot of them were, you know, CG, of course. And that just makes sense. Like the final ghost was the ghost in the logo. I thought that was cool. I thought that was really cool. It just felt a little awkward. The legacy characters, was it two of them were in it, or all three of them, right? Yeah. Oh yeah, all three of them were in it, but they didn't play their original characters. Like again, this is a reboot, so them being in the movie felt weird. Like you'd expect to say like, oh my gosh, it was cool seeing them in the movie, but the way they put them in the movie felt off-putting.
One of them did say, "I ain't afraid of no ghosts."
He did. Yep.
This is Dan Aykroyd, right? That was.
I think it. Yeah.
That was, I think it was.
But yeah, it was cool when you hear that, but you know, cool enough. That's the question. That is the question. What are your thoughts?
So, wasn't that good of a movie? I have to be honest. I'd want to like it, but I can't. Because okay, one thing is the characters. They're not all likable. Some of them are like there are like especially like the main character. That's Kristen Wiig, right? Yeah. I don't remember any of their names, but she was, I guess, the most likable because she's like the main character, and you have to like the main character. If you don't like them, it's not a good movie.
Yeah.
It still wasn't a good movie, but it's still like I still like she was the most likable of them, and then like some of the other ones, but not all. There were some just were annoying at times, and there was like would make like just jokes that didn't land and stuff, and some of them were likable, some of them not too much. The villain I felt like was a little weird at first, especially when he just straight up died. He just dies. I was like, what?
So long, buddy.
Spoilers, I guess, for
be warned.
A 5-year-old movie.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
But then he dies, but he comes back as a ghost and does ghost stuff. But yeah, and like you said, the CGI it does look good. The neon colors look really great. I really like that as well. It was really good effects. I felt like at some point it was a little too much, but like but again, like it was not anything too big. Like it was still good effects, especially with the technology of today. CGI, they were able to make it look nice and pretty. Like
it should be.
Yeah, it looks good. And also something about this movie is that I watched it. I didn't watch it in theaters when it came out, but I watched it at home with the DVD you see here. And how they made it is that, of course, it's a widescreen. It's the widescreen film with the black on the top, black on the bottom. But this was made for 3D, so a lot of the special effects went into that black space. So like they'll shoot like the repulsor ray and it'll just go up into the black space. They're like, what the heck? And like and stuff, or people like when the ghosts come at the screen, they'll come into that black space. And I was like, it's a little distracting at this point. I was like, this is clearly made for 3D. Doesn't work well when you're watching at home without the 3D effect.
And you know what? That kind of reminded me that you said it. Like Shark Boy and Lava Girl. That was clearly made for 3D, but when you watch it in 2D, you don't feel that. You know. But you can see like when he stretched out the hand, or like they shoot the water or the lava or something in the screen. Like, oh, that was supposed to be 3D, but they don't have that problem where like it goes off screen. But that's odd.
Because when I was watching, I noticed that and I was like, this is a little distracting now.
Yeah.
I was like, what's that doing there? You're not supposed to go into that black space. Go back to the screen.
Yeah. Weird. I was gonna say because I had watched it at the theaters, and this was back in 2016, so I was younger then, but I think this was the first movie, I was telling Anthony, it was like the first movie where I went in knowing it was a comedy, and I was like, wow, this is not funny. Like, oh my gosh, was I supposed to laugh right there? Like, I don't know, it was, like, there's parts where I was like, oh, that was kind of funny, but like, the entire movie, I wouldn't say was a comedy. It was almost like Marvel humor, but worse. I don't know.
And something that I actually did really like in this movie that they didn't do in the original Ghostbusters is that they made new gadgets to trap ghosts. It wasn't just like the rays and the traps, but they actually like there's like one that was like a bear trap, and there's one that's like more of a bomb. Like that, I really like that idea. They had all these other gadgets, of course, because not all ghosts are the same. You'd have to use different things for them. So I really like that. I feel like that was really great. But yeah, that's pretty much all for the stuff I said. Again, the characters didn't really grow attached. Also, actually, I didn't write this down, but another thing is that with this movie, they try to focus on character development of the characters, which I feel like didn't really work out well because you have 4 different characters. 5, I guess, if you count Chris Hemsworth. They didn't really. He was more of a side, like, humor person, but the 4 main characters, like, they tried to kind of put meaning to all of them and put a little focus on, like, developing each of their characters. And I feel like it didn't really work out, especially like a time when they were, I think, sitting and eating dinner, and the main character was telling about, like, oh, this is why, about Ghost and, like, why I went away or something like that. Which I feel like didn't work out, because, like, in the original Ghostbusters, they didn't really have that. The character development was just them going through the movie, where you saw them, how they were. You got the feeling of them just by seeing how they were on camera with their first, and then they didn't really go into more, like, explaining, okay, so this is why I believe what I believe, and this is what I've been through. Like, I feel like that distracted from the movie and made it drag on a little bit more. Like, it works well in some movies. This one it didn't, because there's too many characters to go over and stuff. But just could have been done without in this movie, and it would have been fine. They just didn't, like, include that and just have us learn about the characters as the movie went on.
What I was gonna say was, speaking of Marvel, if you like Chris Hemsworth, don't watch this movie. Don't watch this movie. If you like Chris Hemsworth, don't watch it. They just completely butcher his character. Like, he's such an idiot in this film. It's like
a non-believable idiot.
Yeah, seriously, it's like
like, you could make someone who's not, like, the smartest and make it believable, but this is just not. He's just there to be stupid, and, like, that's it. And
yeah, it's like jarring. Like, oh my gosh.
It's like those cartoon stupid people, like kid cartoon people. Like, they're just made to be stupid, and no, that's all. That's their whole character trope. There's nothing else to them.
Yeah,
it was that he's stupid. He looks good. That was it. But he does look. He is a very handsome man, to say.
That's why he's there.
Yeah.
That's why he's there.
So, with that being said, was there anything else you have to add, or is that pretty much sums up your?
Yeah, that was pretty much it. I would rate this movie 5 Slimer hot dogs out of 10. I don't know.
So mine was a little more harsh. I gave mine a 3.5 out of 10. It's pretty low for me, especially compared to other movies that I've reviewed here. It had to be a 3.5. So, yeah.
Yep. Well, it's getting late. I better get home.
Well, before you do that, that's what you get for making me watch that dang movie.
You did this last year too.
I did? Dang it.